I would like to thank MGTOW5513 for sending me this article. And this was something I was going to speak on anyway. And this is pretty much going to be a discussion about the low, and I do mean low attendance for the Unite the Right 2 event that occurred uh not probably even a couple hours ago. Today's date is Sunday, August the 12th. You'll probably see this video tomorrow, Monday, August 13th. So, as we all know, the Unite the Right Part 2 event, if you want to call it that, occurred today. They started yesterday in Charlottesville, and then they had the actual, I guess you could say, main event today. But it didn't really feel like it at all because the turnout for the actual people who are on that side of the Unite the Right had a very low attendance. And I actually knew they were going to have a low attendance when the numbers had went out yesterday. They said only about 400 were expected to be there. And that it was going to be more than double of the counter protesters. It was way more counter protesters there than the actual white so-called nationalists themselves, to the point where you would think that it was a whole different type of event. I mean, if you were outnumbered by the people that are going against you, you might as well just pack it up and go home. Now, what made this even more interesting is because it rained. I'm not sure if rain was in the forecast, but it did indeed rain, and I think that also put a damper, no pun intended, on their event. But I look at it this way: look at the rain as a good thing, because some of them probably hadn't taken a shower in weeks. So this is the first time they actually got their bodies wet. Now that area down there is probably going to end up smelling kind of Neanderthal-like. So they may want to, I don't know, spray something down there to get that baloney wet dog smell up out of that vicinity before businesses open back up tomorrow. Now, what makes this even more funnier is because they hyped this thing up as if it was going to be better than last year. I'm trying to figure out how acting like a savage is somehow being better, but I guess by their logic, that's what it is. And what's even crazier is you're going to have many of them who were out there, even the person who put this together, whose name is Jason Kessler, who is probably going to try to fabricate and lie, and like I know he probably will, and say that this turnout was better than last year. Remember, 45 had gave that fabrication about his numbers for his inauguration back in 2017, when it wasn't a lot of people that showed up and turned out for that. And remember, also on the same day of his inauguration, like with this, it rained at that as well. And then he tried to say, well, it was more people there, it was just Photoshop. Because again, he was trying to compete with former President Barack Obama with his inaugurations. He eclipsed one inauguration for Barack Obama. He eclipsed one inauguration for Trump. Both of them, if you really count, because when he got reelected, it was just as much of as a turnout. But of course, that was a quote unquote historical election. But what can I say? That's what they get. And I know none of them would dare go past Navy Yard. For those of you who live in the area, you know what station comes after Navy Yard on the infamous Green Line. They wouldn't dare go that far. They probably searched up the demographics of the area before they got started and like, nope, we can't go that far. Now they got to all go back to Vienna, which is in Virginia, and it's a mostly white area, and just leave. And I was looking at the clips on the news. That place is heavily secured with security. I've never seen that many security at a train station ever in my life. But it is what it is. I mean, I already knew this thing was going to be a failure. I already knew it was a joke. They could have stayed home for all of this, but I guess they just had to throw their weight around and see if people would actually come. They had a few people that came, but it was nothing destructive like it was last year. So for those of you who were hoping for that, that didn't occur. They just came there and they looked like idiots as usual. But to be honest, they could have stayed home and did all of that for free. Because most of them are idiots in real life. To be honest, if they were out there, they were idiots. And like I said, I didn't go out there. There were some black people who was on the counter protester side. Because nothing popped off, nothing happened to them, so be it. But I wasn't about to go out there. So, y'all let me know what you think about this down in the comment sections. Like, share, subscribe. The links to the PayPal and Patreon will be down below, and I will talk to you in the next one. Okay, so here's an update to the video I did earlier, and I'm glad that I came across this before uploading the video. Remember, we didn't know what the numbers were for the amount of Unite the Right people, but we just knew that it was going to be a very low number. Now, they originally said that it was going to be 400, but based on this figure that has come out from CNN, it said that approximately 24 white nationalists rallied in the nation's capital on Sunday, 1 year after clashes in Charlottesville, Virginia left one person dead and elevated racial tensions in America. But they were vastly outnumbered by throngs of counter-protesters. Now, I know I'm not the best in math, but I do know that 24 is 24. So you mean to tell me that only 24, or roughly around that range, were there on the Unite the Right side? See what I mean when I said this was a waste of time? It was a pure waste. Like, it was a whole bunch of fluff. But you know what I've noticed? A lot of the times when you have these bigoted individuals try to do something like this, they usually always fall through. See, what the thing was, they were banking on trying to recreate what happened last year. But see, the thing is, they know that this location in this area, it drew too much attention. They would have to do this as some kind of not so, I would say, hands on, all eyes on me type of location. Like, see, Charlottesville was the perfect spot because there's nothing around it. But they wanted to try their hand at the nation's capital. Yeah. Better luck next time, I guess.